it could be a busy few weeks for Newcastle, who look to strengthen their squads. Their hand might have been forced as well, with Jonjo Shelvey having surgery and being ruled out for 12 weeks. Well, this is what Eddie Howe had to say about potential incomings.
Has anything moved on this week? Are you any closer to bringing anybody else in than you were a week ago?
I'm really sorry to say no. I'm sorry to keep giving you the same answers. I want to give you a different response, but I can't. No, we're no closer currently. But hopefully, you know, the next week or so might be different.
How do you feel about the fact that you're no closer to adding anyone? Are you relaxed at the moment, or?
Ooh, am I relaxed? I'm never relaxed, Keith. I've always, you know, in this job, you're never relaxed. I think I'd love to, as I said, I'd love to bring somebody in or players in that we feel can benefit the group and add to what we have. But I'm not anxious about that currently. I think the squad's in a very good place. Very confident. There's a good feel about the group. Good dynamic internally. So yeah, we still have time.
Still have time, and he said there that the squad's in a good place. Where do they need strengthening? Of course, we mentioned there the injury to Jonjo Shelvey.
Yeah, I mean, midfield seems to be somewhere they were targeting anyway. I mean, with the knockback bids from James Maddison, 2 bids, you know, linked with a move to Newcastle, you'd see that Eddie Howe clearly wants some extra quality in that area. And if you look at Jonjo Shelvey missing, that could be quite a big one for them as well. Plays an awful lot of games for them. But, you know, Joe Willock's come in. They've got the likes of Bruno Guimaraes as well. Big season for him. So they've made steady signings and they've done really well. I just look at actually Newcastle on the whole. They look quite well balanced. They look okay. I think they're looking to push on this season because they've been smart and astute about their business. But definitely it looks like he wants someone in midfield to reinforce Jonjo Shelvey. And if you look at Chris Wood backing up to Callum Wilson, who has his fair share of injury problems, they'll be hoping they can keep him fit. Obviously scoring on the open day as well. But the longer he can stay fit, the better for Newcastle fans. But there may be a little bit of a jury out on Chris Wood at Newcastle in terms of the goals. If Callum Wilson was to get injured tomorrow and they had to rely on him again, didn't score too many goals in his move from January, but maybe that could be an issue they could look at as well.
They haven't sort of splurged, have they? Which I think a lot of people probably thought they would do. I know they've got to bear in mind FFP as well, but it looks like they're making this kind of steady progression.
Well, absolutely. The new ownership come in and then they set all these aims of winning the Premier League within a decade, and everyone expects them to go mad on their spending in the January transfer window, and actually the reality's been quite different, and they have made this really steady progression. But it's been great because it's managed to keep a sense of togetherness in the squad, because it wouldn't be a good look, would it, to come in, get rid of all the players that you've actually relied upon for the last few years that have had, you know, good times at the club, and got rid of them all. So I like what they're doing, but obviously there you mentioned the constraints of FFP. They can't go mad, and the ownership wants to improve the stadium, wants to improve the training facilities. They've got a lot of different things around the club that they want to improve on. So signings is just a part of that. But yeah, I like what they're doing. I think they've brought in clever signings, and it is taking a bit longer, but they'll be happy, I should think, with a top 10 finish this season. That will be their aim.
Well, what is their aim? I said it a minute ago when talking about Everton. Top 10 finish, is that Newcastle's aim?
Yeah, I think so. I think there are enough teams trending downwards, enough teams in the Premier League that have traditionally been top half or around mid-table that you think they haven't done much business, or I wonder what's going on with their squad, or are they going to leave their business late? Whereas Newcastle, like you said, because they strengthened in January, and because they have, you know, because they've made some sensible signings, you know, they improved the goalkeeper position, for example, you know, this window you're like, okay, fine, they're actually one of the teams trending upwards, and there's 4, 5, 6 teams they could leapfrog just by simply being sensible this window. So they don't necessarily need to splurge, as long as the ownership says, all right, fine, top 10, that's all you need this season, as long as they are realistic with their expectations.